We're here with Bobby Galinsky. He's one of the most renowned producers, I think, in Australia for what he's doing with the Australian entertainment industry. And he's joining me here exclusive to our online viewers. So make sure you like our Facebook page, facebook.com/planetearth, and subscribe to YouTube as well, youtube.com/planetearth. Bobby, welcome.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Really good.
Thanks for coming on board, really appreciate it.
Didn't mind the 6-hour trip out here, it was fine.
Good old Brunswick, did you have to lock your doors on the way here?
I actually locked the doors and I brought my gun, which I rarely do in Australia. You're supposed to turn them in, but once I crossed Sydney Road, I got it out. No, it's all good.
On the window sill, just ready to...
Yeah, but holding on.
Let's start with the most important, Dustin Glory.
All right. You familiar with the project, perhaps? It's people that are a bit older, some of your older viewers, like your sponsors. When they were growing up in the 50s, the world's largest road race took place in Australia.
Yeah.
Every year in 1953, 54, and 55. 200 cars started in Sydney and went around the outside rim of Australia. And there was a fellow that used to throw dynamite at other cars called Jelly Knight Jack Murray. It was a real legend. Yeah. The coolest Australian that ever lived. And the book Dustin Glory was written by a journalist, Evan Green. Yeah. Was a bestseller in 1976. It's coming back as a paperback this year, and we optioned the rights, and we've signed director Simon West. Con Air, Expendables 2, Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's a dream. We've been chasing it for 6 months, and hopefully we start shooting, fingers crossed, mid-year or third quarter this year.
How hard is it to chase something like that? Like, I know I struggle with celebrities, having to do with management and agents and, all that sort of red tape. How do you, what's your tactic to go and get someone like Simon West?
Well, we had the money, the guarantee. Any big director is going to want what they call a pay or play. Yeah. You can't come to them unless you have the money, unless you're a studio. So an offer from our company, Top Cat Media here in Australia, the big agencies like CAA, ICM, William Morris, they go, well, who the fuck are you? And do you have money? Is this a real picture? And we just couldn't get any traction. And it was like we were waving checks. Oh my God, what do we need to do? I've been involved in a number of features over the years as a writer, one as a producer, my business partners, dozens. And what we had to do is we had to take on US partners with a lot of cred, which was the best thing we ever did. They had a lot to the film. And they approached the agencies, and because they had just done Role Models, which did $300 million worldwide. And one of the fellow's fathers is president of the Academy Awards.
Wow. And
they're doing the new Charlie Sheen TV series, Anger Management. They're in the industry big time there. And so when they say they're involved with this picture, suddenly, oh, it's a real picture.
We want in.
Yeah.
So from your experience, there are people out there that might not get that audition, might not get that feature film role, might not get that short film role, thinking of giving up, pressure from family to go back and get a full-time job. What would be one piece of advice you'd give them?
The unshakable belief in yourself. And if you can see it, if you can see your vision, then it's real. People say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. It's really the other way around. You'll see it when you believe it. And I think people really have to think that through. If you've seen it in your head, your family can get in the way, your friends can get in the way, your wife, your son, your father, your uncle, whatever. They don't have your best interests at heart. They think they do. But it's easier for your friends to see you fail. I mean, you're an actor. You've put your own program together. It costs money. It costs time. I'm grateful to be here and be able to share some ideas. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to wear it, whether people watch it or not. If they watch it because of me, or they don't watch it because I'm on, and they go, oh, he's an idiot. You've made the choice, and you've put yourself out there. Most people are too scared to take a risk.
Yeah.
And I don't think Australians are as, and I say this as an Australian now, are as ready to give it a go as they think, compared to Americans who are far more goal-orientated, I believe.
You worked at Disney?
Yep.
What was that like?
I'd gotten out of university. I'd left university early in the 70s for a job with an advertising agency. And I went to school in Colorado. I was born in the Midwest in Iowa, which is, think of Maui with snow. Think of nothing with nothing. And So to go out to the mountains was great, and then to go out to the West Coast and get a job with an ad agency.
Yeah.
And work with Disney and consumer products and Touchstone Pictures. So I kind of crossed a level of from toys to movies. So I have a pretty fair amount of knowledge on what makes commercialism work. And then started my own consumer products license with 2 other guys, which we brought to Australia in 1994, which was massive. So I'm fascinated on why people go to the movies, what they buy from the movies, why they watch things, what they do.
Why do people go to the movies?
They want a souvenir of an experience that will stay with them. And when someone comes home from the movies, or even if they watch it on their phone or their iPad or whatever, something cements in and anchors in them, and the way you dress, or the women that you like, or the people you admire, or the body that you want, or the way you talk, all comes around from images that we've seen as kids and teenagers. So when someone says, oh, they don't have time for the movies, everything about them today was forged by images they saw, unless they were raised in a barn without TV or film.
It does Hollywood pump out all these movies, all these TV series that we Australians are fed, right, on our TV channels, 7, 9, 10, all, a lot of American shows on there. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, like, I watch them. Entourage is one of my favourite TV series.
Legend TV series.
Legend TV series.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with Australia? What's holding Australia back? Why isn't Australia doing the same thing?
Oh, this will probably come out sounding wrong, but lack of writers, lack of experienced writers. You take a show like Cheers or 2.5 Men or Friends or any of these big shows where they will have a dozen or more staff writers. And these are people making 100 or 200,000 a year, times a dozen of them. So they're just churning out great stories, sometimes bad stories, sometimes rubbish, but they're able to manufacture it, and if like 3 people are off that week or can't come up with an idea, there's 6 more that can. So the consistency of a 2.5 Men or a Cheers or something is fantastic. Here you get a TV show, whether it's Neighbors or Home and Away or something large like Packed to the Rafters, probably the most successful local show. And there's a limited amount of writers, there's a limited budget, and it's easy for Channel 7 to go across the ditch and get a product that's already made that comes with a lot of advertising and a lot of knowledge, rather than to spend that money trying to develop a show. Here it's economy of scale, really. And we can do great shows. When I came here in '94, Frontline was like the coolest show. I just worshiped that show. And we had a great film industry with a lot of hot films coming out. And then we kind of hit a bit of a miasma there for a while, but I think it's really turning around.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they help with yourself as well, having a production company based in Australia.
Yes, I'm personally turned the whole industry around.
Personally.
Thank
you, Bobby Galinsky.
No.
Australian government should write this man a check.
They should.
They should.
They should. We've done all of our projects without government funding.
Yeah.
We've raised our money privately, so nobody can bitch and moan and say that the government gave us a bunch of money. But the government here is very generous with the states and nationally about helping filmmakers, and we're really blessed to have that. It's fantastic.
Appealing to the world market is the way you make films.
Yep.
To appeal to the world market, to appeal to a large target market or group. One question is, what do the world want?
The world wants to be moved. They either want to laugh, or they want to cry, or they want to hate. I heard a line way back when, before Flatliners was shot, from producer Michael Douglas, said people go to the movies to see someone they want to be, they want to fuck, or they want to fight. And it's like, that's really what it's all about. You go to the films, you go, God, that guy is so cool, I wish I was him. Or that chick is so hot, oh, I just like to be with her. Or that guy is such a deal, I just want to fucking kill him. And you said I could swear, so if anybody's offended, get fucked. Yeah. And I think that we get stuck into making such milquetoast characters. And a lot of things that are intrinsically Australian interest us here, but they don't interest people around the world. You can be the most rabid cricket fan, but they don't play cricket in the US, so if you're doing a documentary on Don Bradman, better find an angle for it to entertain people in countries where they don't play cricket.
Yeah.
So I think people get stuck with a passion, but it's not everybody's passion.
Cats.
We love cats.
I noticed you love cats.
Yeah.
Named your production company after it.
Yeah. My business partner, Elizabeth Howard Jackman, came up with the name originally. It was actually her company, Top Cat Films, which is now morphed into Top Cat Media.
Yeah.
And I joined as a partner some years ago. And she had 2 cats, and I had 2 cats, and we love cats. Cats are lucky. And people that don't like cats never succeed.
And what about dogs?
Love dogs too.
Okay.
Yeah. But cats rule. There's a hierarchy there.
So the cats come first, then the dogs.
Cats, dogs, toasters, microwaves, then the prime minister, then, okay.
Would you put the prime minister in the microwave?
If I could, it'd be huge.
Might I get a ass
And I mean that in a loving way, not in a murderous, the AFP or ASIO is going to call me kind of way.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Sean Perry. P-A-R-Y.
Thanks.
No.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for that.
There's nothing harder than making a film.
Yeah.
It's harder than brain surgery. Anybody can go to school and become a brain surgeon. Putting a film together is immense.
I can imagine just doing a half-an-hour TV show. You don't realize how much detail goes into every ounce of the production and performance. Just operating a simple camera, from audio to plugs to this to that. Imagine doing a feature film.
Yeah, it was the night before we started. I lit a candle. I looked in the mirror and I said, "How hard can this be?" And God, of course, has a massive sense of humor, and He said, "I will fuck up your life." So I learned how hard it is. And I'll say one thing good about it. I've got massive respect for other people whose films I thought, "Oh, that was shit," or whatever. I understand more now why things happen and how hard it is to make a great film. It was a great experience. I'm glad it was a near disaster, because it gave us what we need for Dustin Glory.
How do you handle the criticism from people in the industry, yet keep on living and get up on top and now making a $40 million film, Dustin Glory?
I think it just takes looking at the goal and not looking down. If you're a tightrope walker, you look at the end of that high wire. You never look down. And looking down is suicide. I think a lot of people get towards the end and then they look down, they go, "Oh fuck, there's no way I can do this. This is a bad film," or "People hate this film," or "We're running out of money." And Prey did not come out like we wanted, and the knives were out for it. But I will take responsibility that I talked it up as a project, and I was quite candid about other people's films. So I brought the knives out. Yeah. I'll take the heat.
Let's finish off with this.
Okay.
You said in an interview you wanted to be the next Disney or DreamWorks.
Yes.
How far away are you?
I'd say we're a ways away, but there's that view on the horizon. Elizabeth and I have pushed this project 24/7, 365 for 6 years through everything. And we go out to cast next month. Simon West is the biggest director in Hollywood right now, finishing up Expendables 2. He was handpicked by Sylvester Stallone and Avi Lerner, one of the most successful producers on the planet, to do this film. And he's coming from that down here to do Dustin Glory, a film that I think will be I hope the Romancing the Stone, American Graffiti, Indiana Jones of our time. It's got all the ingredients. Hopefully going out to the cast that we're going out to, top A-list cast, that will give us the cred to do a slate of films that could be like a small DreamWorks here or a Disney on a more controlled level. I think what DreamWorks is now compared to what they set out to be has much different than what they thought. But we just want to do a slate of film and TV that's successful, commercial, right here at home in Melbourne, that will compete on the world stage. And I believe we have all the talent here and all the ingredients.
Well, make sure you give us the exclusive red carpet.
Absolutely.
And we'll bring our cameras. Absolutely.
I hope that you'll be seeing the red carpet premiere of Dustin Glory in about 18 months.